Hi, Ann. How you doing today?
Hi, Dr. Grande. About the same.
About the same?
Yeah.
Tell me what's going on.
Well, it might be a little worse at, I've been talking about my problems with the perks the past couple of times I've seen you.
Mhm.
And, I don't know. I think at work they might be starting to notice a little bit.
They might be starting to notice that you're under the influence of the Percocet.
Yeah.
Because before, I remember when we talked, it seemed like you felt safe in that no one was going to find you out.
Well, yeah, because when I take them, I feel normal.
Mhm.
Like, it makes me feel like I can function, and I feel normal. But, like, definitely last week, my coworker in the cubicle across the way she was looking at me. She was just looking at me really funny. And then also, I've been having a little bit of trouble with the numbers. I'm not on my game the way I used to be. And I know that there is a connection to the drugs.
So in terms of concentrating, focusing?
Yeah, definitely. It's hard to focus,
Mm-hmm.
but if I don't do it, well, I don't know. I mean, I can barely get out of bed. I don't know. I'm completely,
This is tough
I don't
for
know
you.
what to do.
And this is tough for you. The Percocet makes you feel normal. And we talked about this before.
Yeah,
It used
like-
to give you a high, but not anymore.
No,
But
it is not fun.
But it makes you feel normal.
Right.
Yeah. And we talked about the detox options, and
Oh, God, no.
it's
No,
not
no,
something
no,
that
no,
you're.
no.
So really, what's changed to make things a little more difficult is that you're worried that your coworkers are onto you, right? And that your performance in terms of focusing on your accounting work has been compromised as well.
Yeah.
Is that about right?
Yeah. Yeah, when you put it that way. She's definitely noticed. And she talks too. So it's not like if she thinks something's up with me, she's going to keep it to herself.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be the reputation piece, and then also the quality of my work. I know it's not the same. It's a lot harder for me to produce what I used to.
And you're afraid that's going to be noticed as well.
Yeah, for sure. But I can't go through detox. It's just not an option.
All right, let's talk about. I want to do some scaling work. I want to talk about the importance of this change to you. Now, because we've been talking about this change for a while.
The change, like giving up the perks.
Yeah. Let's talk about
Right.
Let's just talk about the importance of it, though. All right, so just focus on that one narrow piece.
Okay.
All right, we're just talking about how important it is. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not important at all and 10 being extremely important, how important is it to you that you can make this change? That you make this change?
See, I go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's that important. Well, if I lose my job, that would be horrible. So maybe it is pretty important. I mean, it's important that I keep my job.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
really important that I keep my job and that I keep my reputation.
All right, so it's important that you keep your job, and that importance, in a sense, now appears to be tied to the importance of not using Percocet. They've been tied together a little bit, right? That's
yeah,
concern.
because to get out of bed, yeah, okay.
All right, so if you had to pick a number, 1 to 10, where 10 is extremely important, how important is it to you to make the change?
I don't want to answer that. 7, 8, 7.
7.
Yeah.
So fairly important.
Yeah.
Fairly important.
All right, 8. I mean, I gotta keep my job.
You have to keep your job.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about another construct. So that's importance.
Okay.
All right. I want to talk about confidence. So using that same scale, how confident are you that you can beat the Percocet?
That's what I've been trying to do. For how long have I been coming in here?
It's been about 6 months now.
I've tried. I mean, I have really tried. No, I can't. I don't think I can do it.
So
You know?
using the 1 to 10 scale, where do you think you would be?
Like 0, 1. I can't. I've been trying.
So very low confidence. No, really no confidence.
Yeah.
You have no confidence. So you have no confidence that you can change. And it's very important to you that you do change. So this is a real bind that you're in.
Yeah. It's pretty depressing.
You mentioned that one of the reasons your confidence is low is because you tried over the last 6 months in working with me, and you've not been successful at stopping the Percocet use.
I'll leave here swearing to myself that I'm done. You know, that next week I'm going to come in and I'm going to tell you that I didn't use at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, before I'm in bed, I've already taken some. You know, that night.
So it's easy to see where the low confidence rating comes in, based on your experiences in the last 6 months. How about other times when you've been able to make a tough change? If you look through your past and different experiences, have there been any other occasions where you have been successful at beating something like this, at making a tough change?
Well, yeah, I mean, I used to with the gambling, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I used to hit Delaware Park, you know, on a regular basis, and spent a lot of money. And my husband was pretty upset about it, and I had a really hard time stopping that. And,
So that was tough. That was. Would you say that you felt addicted to gambling?
oh yeah, definitely.
And it was painful to stop. Are you happy that you did stop?
Oh God, I would never want to go back to that. Yeah.
So when you were in the middle of that addiction of gambling,
Right.
how likely did it seem that you would be able to stop back then?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think that I was going to be able to. Probably about a 2 or 3.
So there's some parallels here between what happened with the gambling and what's happening now with the Percocet.
I didn't think about it that way. So I really didn't think I could do it then. And it's been, you know, a couple years since I've even been in a casino.
Mm-hmm. So you would say you were successful at beating that addiction?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Definitely successful. So what happened?
But it's so different.
It's different?
It's so different. Oh my God.
Let's talk
I
about
mean,
that.
I just find myself popping them in my mouth, you know?
So the mechanism is different. Like, so the gambling, you'd have to drive to the casino, you have to drive to Delaware Park.
Right.
You'd have to have money,
Right.
right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
Whereas the Percocets,
So easy.
yeah, that you get them for
My
for free.
cousin just, yeah.
And it's a lot easier to consume a Percocet than to get in your car and make the time, and so the mechanism is different.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if there's any similarities with with the success and the potential success. Meaning you thought that you could never stop gambling. You think that you could never get through detox.
I don't even think about detox. But you're right. It was miserable in that period when I first stopped going to the casino, and I felt that really strong urge to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it through that. My husband was amazing.
Your husband was supportive?
Oh yeah, he was really great. He would sit with me, he would kind of talk me through it. We'd go to the movies, he was really encouraging. He'd probably be really happy to see me stop using these perks too.
So as you reflect on your confidence, and this is not something you necessarily need to do right now, it's probably important to consider that you were successful before in the past. Albeit the circumstances were different.
Okay.
But you gained a high from that gambling.
Yeah.
That was, it was addictive.
Right.
And you beat it, and it was hard. It was challenging. But you also had the support of your husband. Would you have the support of your husband if you tried to stop Percocet?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's really, upset by the way I'm taking them, and he's really worried about me losing the job. I don't see why he wouldn't be able to help me in the same way, I guess.
Well, since stopping is important to you, but your confidence is low, right? This might be a good area to kind of process, which is, you do have the supports in place,
Okay.
and you have successfully defeated addiction before. So it's something to consider as you weigh. I know that detox is something you've expressed really clearly that you're not a big fan of, and I can appreciate your reasons. At the same time, it's important you don't lose your job. So let's do this. Let's, between now and when I see you next, maybe reflect on some of the strengths and supports and the past successes that you've had.
Okay.
And see if we can accurately factor those into this equation, right, as you're processing through and considering a very tough decision. Does that make sense?
I can definitely do that. Yeah.
So we'll pick up next week there, and I really appreciate you coming in today.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Ian.